Hi everyone and welcome to the Natalie Miles show. Welcome to this week's episode. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are navigating this very intense time. I've been speaking to many people and also, of course, tuning into the intuition and the energy of what's coming up for me personally. But yeah, it may feel right now that the earth is very rocky beneath your feet. It might feel that you're, a bit discombobulated, a bit feeling like the energy is flowing through your fingers. Yeah, it is a really interesting time energetically to kick off this brand new year, this year of 2025. Which is why I really wanted to do this episode today, all about your intuition in 2025 and what's important about your own intuition in 2025. Because if there is if there is anything that this year has already shown us, is that we need to expect the unexpected, and that we are still moving through challenging, uncertain times, but at the same time, feeling more connected to who we are, what we're about, knowing what's important to us. So it's really this fascinating time of duality and how we navigate and move through the energetics. Like, can I feel love and stressed out at the same time? It's like holding these two balls in your hand, and where can you find the balance in this? So first up, straight off the bat, if you're new here, welcome. I've been talking about intuition for the last 8-9 years. This podcast used to be called So You Think You're Intuitive, and it was all about how to connect to your intuition. And one of my big things is that everybody's intuitive. We all have a way of how our intuition shows up for us. It is a personal thing, but we are all intuitive. And then when we realize that, it's a really powerful tool to help us navigate our lives, navigate uncertain times, and come back to our power, come back to our center, come back to our truth. Many of you listening have probably read my book or listened to my book, You Are Intuitive, Trust Your Truth, Take Back Your Power. And you'll have heard me say this before, but I really wanted to share with you about why this is really important in 2025. The theme for 2025 is the discovery. Yeah, the discovery. And as part of this discovery, we're on this bit of a self-discovery journey. You might be like, really? More healing? More peeling back the onion? More layers? And yeah, we are really discovering this year and putting into action what is truly important for us. And as part of that, we're discovering more about our intuition. We're discovering more about our gifts. At a time where 2025 is going to be, it's going to be another intense year. You might feel chaotic. You might even be like, is this really happening? Like, you might look at what's happening in your own life and in the collective and be like, really? Like, that feels a bit like far-fetched. I keep wanting to be using that phrase as like, really? That shit's happening? And this is also why connecting to your intuition is important, and also why I created the Intuitive Foundation, so that you can discover how your intuition shows up for you. It's not by coincidence that I have launched this new body of work this year. It is divinely led by spirit. I wanted to launch it last year, I wanted it to be launched in November, and it kept being pushed back. And I was like, really? It's being pushed back? And then my guide's like, nope, needs to come out January 2025. So I trust, I listen. And then when the 2025 energy forecast theme came through as the discovery, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense to launch this body of work, which is about discovering your intuition and how it shows up in the year of the discovery. But more importantly, also because in 2025, there is going to be a lot of fear mongering around. You might have already seen that in your own personal life and globally of what's happening collectively, politically, socially, in all our systems, banking systems, health systems, environmentally. Yeah, there is a lot of fear going down, even on social media, TikTok. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Like, this is all fear mongering. It is part of this energy to create confusion, to make you feel unsettled, there are just power games. There are so many power games happening to control us, to distract us, and also kind of to, I want to say, so you don't trust yourself, so you don't trust your own intuition of what you know to be true, in kind of like a collective gaslighting vibe. And I don't use the word, I think gaslighting is so overused as a word in our society right now, but there is a collective gaslighting going down of, so that you don't trust yourself of what you know to be true. It's done so that you doubt, it's done so that you play small, it's so that you play safe, that you maybe not be heard or seen, or keep you in the same little box that you've been in. And that's impacting us personally in our own lives. And you can see how that is coming through in the collective. Again, you just need to turn on the news right now to look at that. And so, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because your intuition is a game changer. It is a game changer for you to, one, know that you're intuitive, two, work out how your intuition shows up for you, so that you can feel in your own energy, you can feel in your own power, so that you can cut through the bullshit of what is happening around you, so that you can feel more centered, so that you can feel more anchored, so that you can be who you are, like express yourself in the ways that you really truly want to express yourself, to your family, in your relationships, to your work colleagues. When we really begin to realize how our intuition communicates with us through the body, how it gives us those subtle little nudges, yes, forward, or it communicates with us like, hell no. You might be picking that up on situations, on certain people that you meet, when you read certain emails or social media posts, or you come out of a meeting and work and you're like, really? It's all about being open to trust how your intuition is showing up for you in 2025 to cut through the bullshit. It is so loud and imperative, so that you feel like you, so you can navigate through this year being you, instead of being a version that someone else wants you to be. Or maybe it's a version that you've been for most of your life, but you're realizing that it's not very authentic and you want to shift it and break free from it and do it differently. It's a big healing year. Hey, it's a 9 year. 2025 is a 9 year. It's a complete in numerology. You add up to 025, and you get 9. And it's a completion year, it's an ending year. And so this is a really powerful time of healing, endings, and beginnings. A time of old and new combining in this big discovery melting pot. And as part of all of that, your intuition is imperative. Because the noise of the collective is going to ramp up. The noise in your own personal life of the things that you face personally, whether it's to do with your health, money, relationships, career. When you realize the subtleties of your intuition, it supports you to navigate those areas of your life. So a couple of ways that you can work with your intuition to cut out the bullshit is, I like to tune in. For me, it's all about looking at what's behind or what's looking beneath the surface, and giving yourself that moment to pause and reflect. A lot of intuition is you're not going to receive the messages straight away. Sometimes it's about actively working with it. Sometimes you'll receive intuitive hits and downloads off the bat. Amazing. They'll just drop in. And sometimes it is about interacting with the intuitive energy or the energy of the collective or the energy of a friend or a conversation that you've had, and just dropping in and asking yourself, is that real or is that fake? Does this feel genuine? Maybe you've seen something on social media. Maybe there's something that's come forward and you or a news story. I'll always ask, is this real? Is this fake? Is this genuine? And to do that, I will invite the energy of what it is forward, and I'll sit with it in my body and I'll tune in. How does this feel to me in my body? Your body is huge. It's a massive part of your intuition. And so it is about trusting what's coming through for you, whether it's a knowing, a feeling in your body, you see something or you hear it, how it is that comes up for you. Another question I'll ask myself is, how do I actually feel about this? And I like to call this stepping out of the influence. Stepping out of the influence. How do I actually feel about this? Versus like what that news story, what that post, what that person's opinion, my boss's opinion, my friend's opinion, my partner's opinion. How do I actually feel about this? And honoring and sitting with that so that you can step out of the energetic influence. The next question you can ask yourself, what if I tune into what's beneath this? What is beneath this? And to follow that up, you can ask, what are the motivations and intent behind this? What's the person's motivations? What do they want from me? Is this, what is this? What is the motivation of sharing that piece of news? What was the intention of why this was put out? How is it supposed to make me feel? What's this motivation of this partner or this person that's asking something of me? And because I have mentioned power games, noticing whether it feels like a power game, noticing whether it brings up anger, noticing whether it brings you, like you feel like you're intuitively being pulled or sucked into something. Like you're being pulled into someone else's vortex, someone else's drama, someone else's stuff. That, sometimes we have to get involved, but sometimes we don't. And so it's asking yourself, is this someone else's power game? Is this someone else's power game? And it's, again, same with the collective. Is this someone else's power game? Is that Trump's power game? Is that Zuckerberg's power game? Is that Elon Musk's power game? Yeah, whoever it is. Whose power game is it? Because there is a big jostling for position going down right now, not just in the US. And everything I'm sharing, of course, is not just US focused. This is happening everywhere globally. UK, across Europe, Australia, South America, you name it. It's happening everywhere as a global collective. So noticing, where the power games are going down. A question that I also love to ask myself to drop into all of this is, where do I feel truth in my body? So sometimes we can be so focused on looking for what's wrong or what's negative. Sometimes we can naturally be drawn to focusing on what isn't happening, what isn't working, what isn't right. And this is a really potent question so that you can find the other side of it, which is, where do I feel truth in my body? So if it's the conversation that you've had, the social media, the news post, whatever you're trying to drop into about your intuition, where do you feel truth? And you might have a particular part of your body that you like to know that you call your truth center, whether it might be your heart, your gut, your mind, wherever it is, or it might be your little toe on your right foot. Whatever it is, personally, for you, notice that and be like, okay, yeah, there is some truth in that. I feel that in my body. And it's also then a really good sign that if you can't feel the truth in your body, that maybe it's not the truth. And the next question I love to use is, do I feel this is being used to create fear? Do I feel like this is being used to create fear? Again, you might feel this is fear in your own body. You might just hear a yes. You might see a green sign. You might just have a knowing. You might be someone that loves to journal. You might be like, I need to write this shit down. You might be someone that loves to use their voice, and you might use this process to, like, with a voice note or something. But whatever it is, listen to it. If you're a corpus, if you've taken my quiz and you're a corpus, you might need to process this through your body with exercise, more so than some of the other types. If you're a questioner, you might go deep into question logic mode about this. And you might need, this might for you is all about how you can trust your intuition and not overthink things that are coming up, and actually be like, do you know what? My logic is telling me that I should trust this, but your whole body intuitively is like, run, or this is bullshit, or don't listen to that. And so, yeah, you're going to be navigating some of those energetics that come with it. Yeah. But this just feels like a really big year of anchoring into our intuition, of discovering truly how it shows up for us. So, yeah, that we can stay centered, anchored, and find our safe space within ourselves. I think that is really an important theme for this year, of finding that inner sanctum, that inner being, of a place that we can return to in ourselves, and be supported by others, and finding that balance of having that support around us and also listening to our intuition and trusting ourselves regardless of what we are facing. Yeah. If you haven't taken the quiz yet, if you haven't discovered what your intuitive foundation is, your top 3 that make up your intuitive foundation, go and check it out, because I share so much detailed information on how your intuition shows up for you, how you can work with it in your everyday life, what your pro-intuition traits are, your shadow stuff, what you need to be aware of, and specific intuitive development tools for you. And my favorite section of it is how you find balance. You know, how can you work with your intuition to find the balance that you need to navigate what you're facing. And it also shares how you'll show up in relationships and in your career and work, and how intuition does that for you and how you can work with it. So yeah, if you haven't taken the quiz to find out what your top 3 types are, it takes 10 to 12 minutes. It's 130 questions. It's super accurate because it's not some 2-minute quiz. This is going to give you a really accurate profile of where you are right now with your intuitive gifts. Not where you were 10 years ago, not where you were, you know, even last year, but where you are now. And you could be someone listening to this who's been listening to me for a while that's like, oh my God, I've been working on my intuition for ages. This will give you a really good, accurate understanding of where you're at, because your type can shift and change depending where you are on your own intuitive journey. And I think that's what's really powerful, is because if you answer the questions based on where you're at now, it's going to give you so much insight. 2025 is exciting. I know I have, you know, you might be listening to this and be like, oh God, it all feels a bit overwhelming. It isn't. It is a really powerful, transformational time. It is a real journey of self-discovery that is going to bring us into a new era, a new phase, a new chapter of our lives. And it's very liberating. So trust where you're at. Trust what's coming through for you. Trust your intuition this year in 2025. And if you want that support, go and take the free quiz. Yeah. It's been amazing to share this episode with you. I'm looking forward to more intuitive episodes. I've really missed sharing about intuition. I'm getting so many downloads of things I want to share with you. So yeah, keep watching, keep listening. Please share with your friends, your family. If you've taken the quiz and you've got lots out of it, please share with others, your friends, community, work colleagues, anyone else that you feel that might benefit from this. I greatly appreciate your support in sharing this as far and as wide as it is intended to go. Have an amazing week, and yeah, I will be back with another episode next week. Have a good one. Bye.